What's up, guys? Matt from Average Guys. So today we're going to talk a little bit about, and not get too far in depth with details or anything like that. Just kind of want to get your opinion on it, and I'm going to give you mine from my average view. This Bob Lazar, Robert Lazar, I don't know if you guys have heard anything about it. It's kind of a conspiracy thing that's been going around. He apparently worked at Area 51 from like 82 to 89. But not actually at Area 51, an offshoot of it called S4, where civilians worked to reverse engineer UFO, flying saucers, and whatever else. So let's get into it. So I first heard about Bob Lazar, I would say, a few years back. I knew it was some kind of conspiracy bullshit thing. Now it's resurfaced in the past, I would say, few months, maybe 6 months, to the point where he's been on, where it caught my attention again was the Joe Rogan show. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. I watch that pretty often, a regular viewer there. And he was on there for an interview, and it was a really in-depth interview. It was about his time at Area 51. Again, he was actually at S4, which I guess is another branch where they keep all like the extraterrestrial vehicles, flying sausage, flying saucer discs or whatever. And he goes really in depth about the reverse engineering part of it. Apparently he worked in the propulsion area, the advanced propulsion area. So generally I don't believe too much, and I don't go too far, delve too deep down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, especially when it comes to aliens and shit. It's just not my thing. I do have relatives that are really into it and, have been, and I've heard about it, for most of my life, but never really got into it till Bob Lazar hit the scene recently. The things he says just make sense. As far as there's I guess gravity waves now, and we've proven the gravity waves, and he was saying this back in 82 and 89, far before we knew that they were waves, when we still thought that they were particles and such. Again, I'm not a science nerd. It's just what I've heard. But they are waves, and he knew this back in the 80s, put it out in a book, and now it's come true. So there's a little validity to what he's saying. The programs that he said he worked on are actual programs that have come to light and been declassified since. But at the same time, I do feel like we've all seen, oh, look, my dog. I do feel like we've all seen UFOs or something that we couldn't explain. I know me, when I was in the Navy, out to sea, I would see shit all the time. And I'd be like, what the hell is that? You can't possibly tell me that that was an aircraft that we know about, and it's so on and so forth. Even as a kid looking out the window, I know that, I've seen things that I can't personally explain. I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything like that. If you have, drop it in the comments and let me know. Maybe we'll discuss that. So back to Bob Lazar. This guy claims to have worked on a reactor that never produces heat. If you guys know anything about reactors, they produce heat. Anything that produces energy will in turn also produce some kind of heat from it making energy. He describes the ships in detail. He describes seeing a UFO, an actual extraterrestrial walking around at one point. Describes 8 other types of UFOs in the hangar bays surrounding him. Again, he's kind of, I think, not on purpose, but kind of a byproduct of his coming out and saying all these things, spearheading like a revolution of, fucking wingnuts, some of them. But I think people who have seen things aren't afraid to come to light and say that they saw things. There's just been recently an admiral, I believe, that came out. He was a pilot for, I believe, the Navy, saying that and I think he released reports as well, stating that he saw and worked on unidentified flying objects as well. So if it's something that you guys are interested in. We'll talk about it more in depth. I just kind of wanted to get it out there and see what everybody thought. Maybe if you had any experiences, we can talk about it. I don't think that there's been an influx of UFOs and sightings and things lately. I think with the advent of the internet and us being able to document them more so, that's why we're seeing an influx of these sightings and UFOs and things like that, because everyone and their fucking grandmother has, literally grandmas I see walking around and recording things with their cell phones. Everyone has one, and everyone has a camera, unless you're somehow still in the Stone Age and have a flip phone. You know, but we all have a camera and we document everything. So I think that that's the reason that we're seeing more and more quote unquote evidence of extraterrestrial life. So what do you guys think? You think there are UFOs flying around in the sky, things that we can't yet quite understand, or do you think that it's just all BS and there's no validity to this guy's claims at all? If you haven't looked the name up yet, look it up, do a little bit of research, let me know what you think. Again, if you guys have had any experiences with this, let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share. I'm Matt from Average Guys. Have a good day.